she is navigating motherhood and being a wife and taking on all the responsibilities of adulthood while trying to be true to herself and make time for the things she enjoys. She's always striving to go for more, even when it feels like she's got her life together, even though if someone told her that, she would disagree.
I'm feeling that this is simultaneously a great exercise in marketing and also in therapy. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back, and happy Tuesday.
Good morning, Turkey Tots, and good morning, Kaylee.
I don't know about you, but I might be touching my eye a lot because of my allergies.
I think that's a reoccurring theme on this podcast, on how both of our eyes just feel like they're on fire because it's so itchy out here. I mean, I'm itchy out here.
I think yours are worse, so I don't want to try to pretend, but my eyes just feel gooey. Okay. Anyway, this morning, I think I'm going to let you explain how we came upon this because you're the marketing genius.
So this was not supposed to be an actual topic of conversation, but I thought it'd be interesting to try to hone in our target audience, as people in the marketing sector say, so that we can gear conversations towards you people and have you actually be interested and attract the right crowd rather than some of the crazy men commenting on our YouTube page. But that's okay. We'll take all the comments. So I figured we could do an exercise that I've done previously before, and that is to actually create your ideal consumer of our podcast as like an avatar. So like, I know we probably both did females, even though I do appreciate the men who do listen and aren't mean in the comments. But even if you're mean, what up? But basically describing her in very vivid detail so that when we plan our next step or next offer or next topics, we can kind of think of these people that we're trying to go for so we can find the right peeps to connect with and grow our audience.
As you were saying, no, stop, rewind. What you were saying reminded me. I was just looking at our analytics. You and I have talked about this off camera numerous times, but I don't know how our YouTube algorithm became what it became, but it is solidly geared toward men. Granted, we have some that interact with us on there regularly that watch, that I am so thankful for. Our little grimace friend and our little pilot one dull geek friend. And I still very much think that it's good for everyone to hear perspectives. Excuse my adjustments. I cannot have the sun straight in my eyeballs. I think it's good for everybody to hear different points of view. And I love having a diverse platform of people that we're engaging with. But it's really funny when you compare the shorts on YouTube to what are TikTok videos called? TikToks? Okay.
We're showing our age here.
In the last 30 days, we've had all male subscribers, I think, on YouTube. Maybe there were a few women, but at least the last 5 or 6 have all been men, from what I presume from their screen names, versus TikTok. It's just all ladies. We may have a handful of guys on there, and I don't know if it's who's using the platform. I don't know if there's more women in our age group on TikTok versus on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube tends to lend itself more to more men watching in general, but our audience has consistently been male dominated on YouTube and female dominated on TikTok. And I don't know how to find women on YouTube.
I do agree, like, it's fun to have conversations with different people, and they don't always have to be this archetype, if you will, but because we've talked about this also before, I think hanging out with men is typically more fun, and I enjoy spending time with Kenny's friends and my family who are men. But if the conversations we talk about and the topics we discuss sometimes are very specifically women related, so I was thinking, when I kind of etched out this character, who would be someone who I could meet in real life and become like best friends with, who would also enjoy talking about similar things that we like to talk about here. So if you fall outside of this archetype and you are a fan of our podcast, please don't take offense to this. We appreciate you nonetheless, but this is kind of our way of strategizing so we can grow our audience, but also we thought it'd be really fun to just discuss what we both came up with on air, if you will. So we have not shared these with each other, so I'm really curious like how deep you went, what your person looks like, and we can kind of compare notes.
I'm really okay. For everyone, I'm obviously not a marketing person, and we joke a lot because both of us equally, I think, creatively come up with content. I just think my process is chaotic, and I would have way too much going on and just get overly obsessed about flinging it out into the universe, and also the one job for the art, man. And then I feel like your creativity is so helpful because your brand of creativity winnows that down to something that's usable and not so chaotic and overwhelming, because consumers don't want to deal with that necessarily. And you've been really creative in like, how do we get this out here and how do we do that, and understanding how the platforms work. So all of that has been so fun. And I loved when you talked about this as an exercise. And then I love that we decided not to talk about it until we could record, because just what you said, I don't ever want to alienate anybody that's enjoying what we're talking about, because, you know, you could be a dad with daughters who have similar interests or behaviors that we do, or I don't know, a million different things. There's a lot of content that I consume from people that are different from me because it's interesting. But you said you made someone that you might be best friends with, but I feel as though I just repersonified myself.
That's kind of how it ended up going for me as well. I was listing off all these traits and I'm thinking, this kind of sounds like me. Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And I was like, well, I would get along with this person because we have similar thoughts on things. So yeah.
I feel like I'm going to want to be friends with your person more than my person.
Probably ditto, because I need an extrovert in my life to start conversations for me, and then I will chime in and enjoy the conversation.
Oh man. The last thing I want to put out there is that, okay, when Kayla and I were talking about doing this, we recognize, and what we kind of started with when we started this whole thing, is that we have a lot in common, but we have things about ourselves that are different. So we also wanted to catch both of those types of people, because obviously me targeting certain things towards women who, don't have kids is going to be different than the times that you and I talk about stuff with the women who are new moms or wanting to be a new mom. Also, pause for 1 second so I can turn off my work volume so I don't have to hear Teams messages.
I thought I heard something in the background.
I usually keep my headphones plugged in so that stuff doesn't come through. I'm also off today, people. Shut up, okay?
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
I know. Well, not everyone's off. It's just me. Peep my hot glue gun in the background.
I see that.
Okay. God, so much adjustment. I don't know how to go back. Should we go back and forth, or should we just go through, or how do you want to?
It depends how, I guess I kind of just I started with very like specific factual things, and then I started going into just sentences of how this person may be. So I think it'd be kind of fun. It may be easier just to go, you do your whole one and then I do my whole one.
I feel like mine's so long.
I'm not surprised.
Let's start here. Let's both go through her basic facts. So you go first.
Okay. Well, I named my lady, and my lady's name is Christy. Don't ask me why. I mean,
how does she spell it?
Kristi.
Oh, a fellow K girl.
Yes. Okay. Honestly, I'll come back to why I named her Christy, but I think it'd be funnier if I just wait till the end. Okay. Because I also have a picture of this lady.
Whoa.
I did not create it. It's like an actual human, which is why I need to give her credit at the end, but I feel like she'd be really fun in real life.
Okay.
Okay, she's a 38-year-old female. Obviously, she's a female. She's 38 years old. She's married for, I would say, I didn't put this in here, but I'm just going to say she's been married for 10 years with 2 kids. And she lives in a somewhat populated city, but like she's not in the podunks, but she's not in the city of New York. I didn't pick a job for her. I forgot that part. Those are my facts.
Okay. My girl's name is Erin. Erin.
Okay.
She's 5'6". And I guess she's probably a brunette, even though I didn't write that out explicitly. Okay. Now, what I wrote on my words was loves goss, but I realized that should have been loves dogs, and I typed it backwards. Or I forgot the G. I don't know how that happened, but she loves dogs. I put that she lives in the normal part of Middle America in kind of the bland areas, aka something of the vibe of like a small town in Indiana.
Okay, yeah.
But I guess I was thinking for her Midwestern region-ish. I guess I'll go through her occupation because I think you said you didn't have that. But I said she went to college for social science, works in a large nonprofit, and likes it, but is also tired from people. And I put her in a long-term committed relationship with a dude. They love each other and will probably get married, but not in a hurry. And she is 34 years old.
I like it. I do realize I did have, she has her bachelor's degree. I did not pick the exact college she went to, but she has her bachelor's degree and she probably is working in some kind of interior design and or creative business occupation, like real estate design, architecture, something like that. Even though architecture is probably like way more right-brained, but somewhere in those little parts.
I like her.
I know.
She sounds like she could do math for me. Okay. Let's, my next section kind of talks about personality. Do you have a chunk?
The whole chunk, the rest of the chunk is personality. So I can just chop it up into like my little paragraphs that I made.
Okay. I'll just go through a few more fun facts and then I'll kick it back to you. So Erin is a type A. Are we surprised? No. She also wants to be a free spirit sometimes, but also sometimes she has to schedule that free space to make it actually happen. Has a fondness for the 90s and the 2000s, but is not stuck there because she did not peak in college. Is curious and enjoys learning, is active, but also feels like she could be more active than she is. She does not have kids and she's feeling sort of ambivalent about having them. But most of her friends have started the childbearing/rearing parts of their lives. And sometimes she feels a little bit behind. And then also, does she want to do a career move? Maybe. So
lots of things going on.
Yeah, I'm sort of imagining her in the 30s fog that I think a lot of millennial women feel trapped in. Not trapped. Just
you just got all these forks in the road and you got to figure out which is the right path to take.
There's something in the mist.
Okay. I'm just going to read off. I did more sentences. So I said probably Christian background. She loves being silly but's responsible. She has empathy, but takes no shit. She is fiercely passionate about some things and doesn't have opinions on other topics. She knows a little about a lot. She has limited free time as a mom and a wife and feels as though she always needs to be consuming information or being productive and understands that's not healthy. She is within the realm of being healthy, as in like physical healthiness, but knows she wants to do better and is by no means an athlete. I'll stop there. That's a good stopping point.
Okay. Likewise, I put that my person grew up, or Erin, excuse me, she's a real person. In air quotes, real person. I have a real friend named Erin, and that's not how she spells it. And I think some of this I got from that, except that my Erin is more like your person. My real life Erin is more like your fake life person because she has 2 kids. Okay. Coming back, ERIN grew up in a pretty average evangelical family. Considers herself spiritual, but isn't latched on to a specific religion anymore, and is not bitter about her Sunday school days, but also sees parts of it as silly. So just not an extreme on either end. I put that she has a sister and a brother. Both are younger and floatier than her. Tries to eat as healthy as possible, but enjoys quality food and cooking from scratch. I'll kick it back to you.
So cute. I love it. I also forgot, I'm imagining Christy as 5. What did you say yours was? 5'6"?
I said she was 5'6".
I wanted to say 5'6". Okay, I didn't remember.
That's funny.
Okay, so they're
is
both
that
the same
like
height.
2 inches shorter than you?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 inches taller than me.
You're 5'4"?
Yeah.
Oh my God, well, look at us meeting in the middle.
It's kind of funny.
That's really fun.
Do you secretly wish you were shorter?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. If I was 5'6", I'd be feeling great. Just kidding. That's fine.
I've never known this about you.
You know, I always slouched when I was younger because I was taller than everybody else.
I didn't know that was why. I thought people were just slouchy. I mean, I slouch.
No, I purposely slouched because I didn't want to be the tallest. Yeah, revelations.
I did not know that. I don't really think I was trying to. I don't know that I want to be taller. I definitely don't want to be taller now that I'm married to who I'm married to because I like the height difference that we have. But I thought it would be.
I'm happy now with my height, but if I could healthily go back down to 5'6", I would.
Wow, I'm so intrigued. I just didn't want to pick a shorty size for our girl because I don't know. That feels like a vibe.
I think
like
I know
your 5s and your 5'2"s.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I love them and I think they're very cute, but I think there's a cutoff there. There's an energy at that height. I feel like I'm just hanging out in the short end of the middles. Also, this is not related and this is a complete side tangent, but I have this mental illness where I think I'm the same size as everybody. I just, when I'm talking to people, I don't know, in my head, we're all the same height. And then I'll catch a glimpse of us in the mirror or I'll see a photo and I'm like, I am way fucking shorter than them.
I did not think you were 4 inches shorter than me.
I never considered it. I might be 4.5.
Hey, turkeys, real quick, we want to tell you about our fun new free craft corner. Every quarter, in line with the equinox or solstice, we are going to send out new farts and crafts projects. You can find the link in the show notes. Just drop us your email. We promise not to spam you, but we'd love for you to join us. Now back to the show. That's so funny. Okay, so my lady, Christy, is 5'6", which is so funny.
Sorry. I took us down a whole road.
No, I love it. She also, ironically enough, she kind of has hair like yours. She's got like brunette, but with like blonde overtones, keeping it light, maybe some money pieces.
What are money pieces?
Like where the front area, right, that's framing your forehead is lighter. They purposely do like highlights right here.
That's called money pieces?
I think so. If it's not, I'm going to sound really stupid, but yeah.
I'm going to assume you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, money pieces. Okay, there's my 2 cents on that. I forgot to mention that. Okay. Continuing on to her personality, she's a little cynical and distrusting to abstract thoughts, but very trusting in her interpersonal relationships and normally agrees until she finds a reason to disagree. She can get along with a lot of people, but likes to pour out to her close circle only. She gets her information from all types of sources, typically not mainstream media. She's on social media, but doesn't post her life story there. She is navigating motherhood and being a wife and taking on all the responsibilities of adulthood while trying to be true to herself and make time for the things she enjoys. She's always striving to go for more, even when it feels like she's got her life together, even though if someone told her that, she would disagree.
I'm feeling that this is simultaneously a great exercise in marketing and also in therapy.
I was literally, as I was writing this, I was like, there's something else down at the bottom too. Or like, oh yeah, that's kind of me. I think I need to address this somewhere professionally.
I think that writing about yourself in the third person or creating something similar to yourself in the third person lets you talk about it in a way that you might not otherwise. All right. Erin drinks beer and also loves wine and also enjoys spirits, aka bourbon and gin. But I think she would also be down to enjoy spirits of ghosts.
Yeah.
She enjoys the bro vibes of the world, but misses her community of female friends. And like most of us, is maintaining long distance friendships, even if long distance is across the town, because it just feels like it's far away when you're in the middle of being busy. And like spooky shit.
I love, of course. Gotta throw in some spooky shit.
Right?
You know what's funny? You like spooky things, as in Kaylee, like the skulls and the Halloween stuff and black candles and like all like the creepy, crawly, spooky stuff. I realize I'm also a spooky girl in just a different capacity. Whereas I don't have skull things, but I love listening to podcasts about how the Mothman came out of the portal to just traumatize this man walking down the sidewalk by a forest. That's kind of spooky.
Okay. I like the spooky aesthetic of things. Yeah. You like the actual spooky shit that I could not ever possibly listen to.
It's a disease. I don't think it's a healthy thing.
I think it's very similar to when I went down all of the true crime holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's valid. It's just like how I want to be a pilot so I can see the aliens. I just feel like there's something out there more than just us, and I just love to hear stories about it because I want to believe it's real, even though it terrifies me. I just feel like it has to be true, so I like listening about it. I don't know.
I think it's very interesting. I get way too scared too easily. I think it's because I'm still traumatized from growing up in a house where there were demons lurking around every corner. So the unseen terrors is not good for me. Also, this is another side note, but half of me loves skeletons because everyone's a skeleton. So I like
there's way more meaning to it.
I love the symbol of everybody being the same underneath. Mm-hmm. Like if you take all the other stuff away, we are all a bag of bones.
When you die and an archaeologist, thousands of years from now, digs you up, you're just a person. Now, they will be able to tell if you're female or male, just FYI. But other than that, you are just a human being who has gone through this life, and everyone's going to die, and we're all the same at the end of the day, and we should stop just caring so much.
I really like that. I really like that there's differences in people's bones, like you were saying, but it's still a bone. You know, like your race and your religion and all of that stuff doesn't matter.
Yep.
And I also love, you know me. I just think that everybody understanding that death is something that's part of life and sort of celebrating that makes life more meaningful. So I think that's the other part of me is I love the death symbolism behind some of it because it is a good reminder that we are all expirable. Also, when you said when an archaeologist digs up yourself later on, I thought, what if it was really that aliens were going to come harvest you after you died? If aliens do an experiment.
I'm assuming the archaeologists thousands of years from now may be aliens, so yeah, probably. Because humans are
Oh
too
my
stupid to
God.
last that long.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm loving these side tangents, but I'm going to get myself back on track. Okay, this next is the whole section where you just talked about how you felt you went on a therapy journey. I definitely, this is, okay. So, my girl Erin misses her community of female friends, but maintains long distance relationships. We talked about that, which I think is probably something a lot of people experience. Here's where I feel like I dug into some holes. She is not mad about her new mom friends being busy, but is scared that they think that she's mad that she isn't.
Okay, I see.
Can't figure out how to meet new people. Just her and her boyfriend just met a new couple that they could be friends with, but now she's scared that maybe they're trying to scope them out as swingers, and her and her boyfriend are definitely not swingers. She feels exhausted at the idea of trying to meet new people or even where to start, and sometimes isn't sure how to fit in as the dinkwad sometimes, dual income, no kids with a dog. Wishes that she could be included with kids' activities of her friends, but then also isn't sure what to do with her hands when she's at a child's birthday party.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's you guys get the vibe. It's this whole weird struggle of being within the young kid age range and not having them, and then where do you fit, and then being self-conscious that your friends who are moms think you're weird. And I have a very poignant example in my own life of being with one of my very good female friends who she never made me feel that way, but I was with her and then this group of her mom friends, and all of her mom friends, I swear to God, were treating me like I was some kind of weird outside alien person, because at the time I was just like this, not married. I was in a long-term relationship with Jason, not married and didn't have kids, and it's there. Oh, are you gonna go out clubbing tonight? I'm like, just because I don't have kids doesn't mean I'm like a raging whore. But anyway.
That's very interesting. I feel like that's how I felt before I had kids. And now I still feel that way. Like literally, one more side tangent. I just was with some friends and they had kids. And in my head, I'm like, I've got a kid now. I know how to interact with kids. Like I'm better. I'm more comfortable. No, I still felt really awkward. Didn't know what to do with my hands. Didn't know what to say. Unless you're like my best friends, I'm just like, I don't know how to talk to other children besides mine. So I still feel you on that, besides having my own child.
To Erin and to myself, we would love to go to your kid's birthday party, but we also will complain about it being an obligation that morning to our partners, never to you. Still want to be there and still want to go, but it's still an obligation, which I think even parents complain about other kids' birthday parties.
1000%.
Yeah. But there is something weird when you show up and you don't have a kid, and then everyone else shows up with their kids and all their kids are playing and they all kind of have something to do. And then you kind of don't. But you don't want to just stand there with your partner like the weirdos with no kid. Anyway, this is a real self-conscious thing that I have, and Erin and I are sharing it.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. How many more little segments do you have?
I can roll the rest of mine out all in one.
Okay, me too. Okay, so that's funny. We need to dive into that later. Anyway, so the rest of Christy's traits. She does well with recognition and alone time. She's funny, silly, stubborn, strong-willed, but is still trying to figure out everything. That was a weird way to write that sentence. She likes to spend money, but smartly. She enjoys nice things, but doesn't need them, as she is down to earth. She likes to be adventurous, but can also be a homebody and doesn't like bugs. But enjoys talking about Mothman. No, I'm kidding. That's not Christy. That's me. Okay. Christy likes to be adventurous, but can also be a homebody. I just read that. She loves to make homemade meals, and she's loving the sourdough bread era of her life. But she also gets overwhelmed and orders takeout some weekends or weekdays because it's been a long day and she's got a kid to feed and it's just too much sometimes. She appreciates science, facts, and truth, but she also loves the arts and creativity. She values honesty, trust, and above all, her family. She is nice until she has to be an angry mama bear and is not afraid to kick someone's ass. She secretly wants to be a female superhero. And this is the part where I realize I need to go back to therapy, and realizes all the things she would love to do in her life are not feasible because the lack of time and her children. And that doesn't mean that her dreams are crushed because she has a family. It just means that there's so many things in this life that, oh, I want to go do this. I want to try this new hobby. I want to change my career. That can still happen, but all the different buckets of possibilities has just shrunk down a little bit. And she's realizing that that's okay.
I totally
But it's
get
also
that.
like, well, maybe in the next lifetime.
I get that. The career ones. And then now, like, I think as your family grows and your kids get older, then you're gonna have new buckets.
Exactly. New buckets will be poured, but some buckets need to be emptied and thrown away.
Bruh, I didn't write it down, but this would also be Aaron / secretly Kaylee's thing. Because it's the same thing happens with a window closing on biologically having children. So I'm just over here splashing around in the other pond, but secretly wondering if I'm going to be mad later on.
That's interesting.
So interesting. Okay. To end this out, Erin has put her hands in her pockets at the kids' party. Just kidding. So she knows what to do with them. Always have pockets if you're going to an event that you're not sure what to do with your hands, or if you're going to feel awkward, because then you can sit there and like spindle your fingers from inside your pockets and no one has to see it.
I just love the posture I can be. Like, I'm like chill but cool when I got pockets. It's just like such a comfortable position, and I can be more confident with pockets. Isn't that so weird?
Well, because otherwise I'll cross my arms so that I have something to do with my arms, but that looks rude and standoffish. And then I get way too in my head about how I'm standing. Okay. Erin, back to Erin. Her two best friends live out of state and they send daily memes. Is excited about her future, albeit unsure of what it will all entail. Is curious and sensitive, loves sarcasm. Is very skeptical. Borders on being a cheap ass. Holds feminist ideals, but loves her BF's alpha dude energy. Likes podcasts. And last but not least, isn't sure how to get into YouTube, even though it seems like that's how the cool people consume content.
It's like, I think honestly with our age range and the range that we've talked about, where it's, late 20s to even early 50s, somewhere kind of in that niche, like yours is 34 and mine's 38. Christy's 38. We like understand things, but we're not experts in them. It's just like we had a childhood without phones, but then we got them later and understood them. But now I feel like everything's surpassing us, and I'm gonna be that mom that's like, what is this?
I'm thankful to my mom friends with kids so that I can at least sort of through them stay up on some of the lingo.
Okay, I just sent you a picture of my lady, and I have to shout her out because, like I said, she is a real person. Look at how cute she is.
Who is she?
Okay, the funny story is Christy had popped into my mind because you know me, I love Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. But Christy is actually not her name. It's funny. Christy is Link's wife's name. Rhett, who reminds me of you, is married to Jessie, but this is a picture of Jessie, and Jessie is who I picture when I'm talking about all this. So it's really funny because honestly, I feel like I'm like Link and you're like Rhett, and the fact that Rhett is married to the woman I was kind of envisioning makes sense because you are like Rhett to me in the way that our dynamics are different, but we still are like a perfect fit. So this is Rhett's wife from Good Mythical Morning. Her name is actually Jessie, but Link's wife's name is Christy, and that's where I got the name Christy.
Okay. Here's the one you specifically sent me.
Yes.
She looks exactly as you described. I know you didn't describe her exactly. Oops, yeah. That's Thomas Rhett. Let's get back to the right one. Yeah, she just looks like fun. She looks
Yeah.
like she would
Like
be
down to
somebody we
earth.
could hang out with, but then can
Yeah.
be fancy.
Exactly.
Okay,
She's so
and
cute,
she's
and I
with the
love
guy
them.
with the beard.
Mm-hmm.
This photo, I feel like, is definitely the energy that you were
Mm-hmm.
describing. This
Mm-hmm.
is so fun. This is so cute. Okay, all right, let's stop googling people. Take this off. Thanks, people, for letting us use you as a visual aid to help guide our.
It's a compliment, though, because I feel like I'd
Yeah.
actually be friends with her.
Me too. After you described her. All right, well, that was super fun.
I love it.
So if you feel like we described you in any piece of that, reach out. Reach out. We're trying to find you.
Tell us what you like to listen to, what kind of topics, what's your energy, what's your vibe, what do you want us to talk about? If you have any listener feedback on topics you'd like us to discuss, we'd love to hear them. And again, if you don't fall within these categories that are very specific, it makes sense and we still love you. We just are trying to hone in our podcast so that we can grow and reach more people. And then we can have a whole community of diversity, but also just trying to help us grow.
I like it. I bet there's some dudes in our group that have similar feelings, but on the guy side. So,
or maybe you're married to a Christy or married to an Aaron, so you vibe with us like that.
Anyway, if we touched a chord, if we tingled a nerve, tell us because we're curious. And until next time, I will see you next Tuesday.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.